I'm fascinated with the whole concept of emotional intelligence. It sounds to me though like it's something that can be learned.
Absolutely.
Tell me about that.
So when you look at, and just to clarify for whoever's listening, what we're referring to when we say emotional intelligence. So it's the original model that was put forward by Daniel Goleman, identified 4 key areas of emotional intelligence. One is self-awareness. Are you aware of your own emotional reactions, how you come across to others, what your strengths are, those kind of things. The second one is self-management or self-control. And so it's one thing to know that. It's a whole nother thing to be able to manage yourself in those emotional situations or be able to leverage your strengths and minimize your weaknesses in those situations. Those are the 2 self-focused areas of emotional intelligence. The other 2 areas are other-focused. One is social awareness, your ability to read and see the emotional needs and or just communication needs of others. And then the 4th one is relationship management. So it's one thing to be able to spot what other people's need. It's a whole nother to be able to communicate in a way and form strong relationships with them and respond to their needs in a way that meets their needs.
See, and that opens up a whole new thought track for me, because I've always conceptualized emotional intelligence as the others, not as. So you're telling me I've got to be aware of myself too?
I'll take it a step further. I'll take it a step further. If you are not self-aware, you are going to struggle to be aware of others, right? Because you have to know how you're coming across and able to respond to someone else's needs. And if you don't have self-awareness, you're going to say and do things that are either going to piss them off or it's going to be the wrong thing to say at the wrong time. And so it all starts with self-awareness, and then you build on that. And once you know where your strengths are, you can leverage them in that conversation. And once you know where your vulnerabilities are and where you're most likely to make a mistake, you can respond in a way that works around it. And then you can respond to others. So a lot of people think, it's about really responding to others. It is, but to respond to others, you have to have self-awareness.
You have to understand yourself
and
first.
Self-control.
Yeah.